Folks Adventures sent $2 in stereo.
Thank you for joining once again, another TK's Adventure. Today we're doing something very, very different. Today we're going to do a little bit of automotive repair. It's going to be a demonstration, so for all of you who don't know what they're doing, it's just for entertainment purposes only. So that's my disclaimer. If you don't know what you're doing, go out to the dealership and get ripped off. But hello to everybody, happy Saturday morning. It took me quite a while to get everything together. But we have a smorgasbord over here. We'll take a look at what we're serving up right now for lunch. And then what I want to do is I want to do a brake job. That's the reason for the thumbnail today. We're right here at the edge of the Intercoastal Waterway here in West Palm Beach. That's why I wanted to show you a little bit of the scenery. It's right here. It's the Palm Beach Marina right here in front of me. Hey, thank you for joining. That's what I would love.
Subscribed on YouTube.
Thank you so much. Yeah, what kind of city? It's a city in South Florida named West Palm Beach. So for all of you that are joining me from all over the world, I am in South Florida right now in West Palm Beach. Check out the channel, please subscribe. I do a lot of travel streams, but today I wanted to do something different. It's what I promised a couple days ago. I have some issues with my car, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little bit of brake work today. And you're going to join me. Now, there could be some issues that I run into. I expect issues. A lot of snags always come up. This is real world. We're doing it all together at the same time. So there could be some seized up bolts that I can't get to and I have to stop the stream. But at the very least, we'll do at least the setup. we'll get the car up in the air, see if we can take off the tire, see if we can continue, and then what I plan to do is take care of the rotors, replace those, and you'll see the damage to one of the rotors. There's actually a lot of scoring on one of the rotors. So we're gonna do the culprit wheel first, and then at another time I'll probably finish the job. So we'll just get started today. We'll start that, and then we'll do the brake pads as well. I'll show you all of the equipment, all of the parts, all of the extra things that I needed in order to get this done. And hopefully, I think I have a complete list, because stopping everything and going to get something would be a drag. I had to do that this morning. There's a special tool to spread the brake caliper piston, but that's another story altogether. We'll get to that later. So what I want to do first is introduce you to all of the equipment that we're going to need to do this job. And then after that, we're going to get to actually starting the work as well. So you can join me. We're gonna have a little bit of fun together. Hopefully, if you want, keep me company, play some songs. The only thing that I might not be able to do is I might not be able to respond to your comments, because I'll be busy working on the vehicle. So talk amongst yourselves, or if you want to get my attention, send out a TTS, send out a song. They're only $1 to play a song, or if you want to make a statement. That way you'll definitely get my attention. And I hope that we don't have any overheating issues. It seems to be pretty cloudy today. It'd be a perfect day if it starts to rain to be able to do automotive work. So we're gonna give this a shot. I have no promises, guys, because always something comes up. Every time you do these types of things, automotive work, and you watch it on YouTube, everything is absolutely perfect. That's because those things are edited. All right, and people are in professional mechanic shops. They have the cars up in the air, their backs don't hurt, then they edit, and everything looks absolutely perfect. That's not reality. So I'm gonna show you what reality looks like. I haven't been to this wheel in a few years. I think the last time I did rear brakes was 2018, because the car was just sitting. But the car worked pretty well. I did the brakes myself, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know anything about safety, don't even touch this kind of work, guys, okay? So why did you let the brake pads get that low? Here's the thing about rear brake pads, okay? They'll work until they don't, which means that they don't have a sensor like the front brakes in these older cars. They don't have a sensor that tells you that there's low brake pads. So the only way to know is to actually go and visually see it, but you can't see it on both sides of the rotor. So that's the reason why the rears will start to grind, because you'll never get a warning that the rears are starting to go. So this car was sitting for quite a while up in Boston. I drove it down to Florida, no issues whatsoever. I had the front brakes done, but those have sensors and the rear brakes do not on these vehicles. So that's the reason why they got that low. How you doing, Macy? Nice to see everybody. Nice to see everyone. New faces, please subscribe. Looking for subscribers. I've been kind of in that YouTube dead zone. We're gonna try to bust through that, okay? And hopefully have some fun at the same time. So usually I set aside these weekends where I have some time. I'm in my parking garage here in West Palm Beach. It's a kind of a semi-public parking garage, but it's pretty quiet on the weekends. If I were to try this on the weekdays, they'll probably make me stop, or it'll be too much traffic. But here, it's a very, very quiet garage right now. I'm up on the 7th floor, so it's pretty quiet here. Not too many people around. I was gonna do it either today or tomorrow. I figured I'd do one of those live reaction videos where I actually pre-record it and then play it live for your reaction, but I said, screw it, whatever, let's just do it live, see what kind of trouble we get into, and that way you get the actual deal of what I encounter as we get this going. Now, there's a lot of things here on the plate. We'll get to look at the menu here, all right? So I'm gonna turn it over to all the equipment that I have for this job. We're gonna be doing the rear brakes, and we're gonna be doing one rotor and one set of pads, and then I'll do the other side at another time, okay? So why don't we just switch to that right now. Here we are. All right, so doesn't that look delicious? Okay, so I'll go through it. I'll go through it all over here. Just give me a second. So here are all the things that we're gonna need to do this job, all right? All right, so we have the brake cleaner here. We have a lot of paper towels, which we're gonna need. This job gets dirty. These are the rotors that I showed you the other day. These are the rear brake rotors, okay? Those need to be done again. And then we have the brake pads right here. kind of see what a brake pad looks like. Here you go. You got the brake pad right here. Then we have some tools here. We have some ratchets here. I think 15 and 13 millimeters is what we're going to need for the guide pins to get those bolts off. You have some brake lubricant here, which I'm going to get to later. If we get those pads off, you're going to need some brake lubricant. Not on the brake pads themselves, but around them and in the caliper area, so there won't be any squealing. That's what that's for. You got your flathead screwdriver. That's to be able to take off the caliper because sometimes they get a little bit stuck. Of course, you're going to have your gloves. I usually have mechanics gloves, but this time I just have these gloves laying around, and I have a couple sets because brake fluid tends to make them disintegrate. I have a tape measure. I'll tell you what that's about. That's for measuring the hat size here to make sure that I have the correct parts. You have some brushes here, some wire brushes, and what that's important for is because all of these brake parts tend to get a little bit rusty. You need to clean them up. So that's what the file is for as well. You see the file here? I got a file right here. That's what that's for. Of course, you got some rags. You have a hammer and a rubber mallet too. That's to get off the rotors because sometimes they're stuck. Now, what I always do is I do preparation so my next time would be easier. And to do that, I actually put some anti-seize on the hub of the brake rotor and also on the hub of the wheel so that it's easy to take off next time. So hopefully that'll do me a service this time. It won't be too hard to take off the wheel and the brake rotor. Then we have the brake rotor caliper, the caliper piston spreading kit here. Okay, don't get any bad ideas, but that's what that is. That's what that kit is. You rent that at any local auto store, and what you're able to do with that is push back the piston when you take off the brake pads so that you can fit in the new brake pads. The new brake pads are considerably thicker, so what you need to do is push back that caliper piston. And I know this is getting a little bit too technical, a little bit too guy stuff for the ladies, but hopefully you can just keep me company with some songs. And let's keep it to these good old American songs, some rock and roll. That'll keep me busy, but I have some songs I want to play too. Here you see I have a jack stand, and we have the jack too. I have a racing jack here. It's a smaller racing jack so it can get down to the lower automobiles. And for God's sakes, people, get a jack pad, all right? They're very cheap to get, and you're not going to ruin your car, okay? So get a jack pad that goes directly where it needs to be so you don't ruin the underneath the rocker panel of your car, and then it rusts all over you. So I've had this car. Let me just go to this section right here. Let's see if I mentioned everything. Okay, I didn't mention everything. The bungee cords, that's to hang the caliper later on if we get to that point. And then you have your sockets here, just a regular socket set. If I might need it, if the ratchets don't do their job. Right here, there you go. All right, here's the jack. I'll show it to you one more time. Jack and jack pad. Right here. All right, so that's a racing jack. Then you have some lubricant here, and you have some anti-seize. And we also have some sandpaper, and the sandpaper is useful to get rid of some of the rust, and that goes in unison with all the brake fluid too. So this is a C5 A6 Audi. It's any time between 1998 and 2004, I believe. And right here you can actually see the scoring on the brake rotor. Do you guys see that? That scoring, that's bad, okay? What it needs to really look like is right down here. Right down here is what it normally looks like. All this scoring though here, that's from there being no brake pad and there being metal to metal, and that's where you're getting the grinding noise. So we're gonna see if we can take that off today, okay? We're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna give it a shot. I know I'm gonna run into problems, and this is the first time I'm doing it. I haven't taken the wheel off before, okay? So I also have a bucket here because that'll be good to save my back so that I can sit down. What's up, Scuffed? Let's do this. Yeah, but you have to be careful, right? You have to make sure you do everything right. You only have one shot at it, okay? Turn on the speaker too. And then here's this other thing that we're gonna need. This is a breaker bar right here. Do you see this? It's a breaker bar. and that's going to help me get the wheel lug nuts off too. There's a little baggie of a special tool so you can get those caps off too. I'm going to find that so that we can take that off. But first and foremost, safety first. We're going to have that jack stand in place too, and also protective eyewear too. So why don't we do that first? All right, you can tell we're doing it right off the cuff. So we're going to put sunglasses and we're going to put on our safety goggles. Look at that for being prepared, huh? How about that shit? Here we are. Don't we look great? Okay, the next thing I want to do is I first of all want to actually loosen the cap for the hydraulic fluid, for the brake fluid, because when you push those pistons back, there's going to be pressure built up and it's going to have to be escaping somewhere. So it's better off to escape from a loosened cap up in the front, and we're going to take a rag and just wrap it around there in case some of the hydraulic fluid, when I push back the piston, some of the hydraulic fluid leaks on top of that plastic container. So why don't we take care of that? How's everybody's Saturday going, all right? Analytical confirmed? Oh, you betcha. You betcha. Hold on a second. All right. Now, I normally do these things alone. It's great therapy for me, but give me a chance here. I'll just show you the view instead. And I know I'm going to run into overheat issues. That's such the nature of the beast, guys. Okay. You see the garage is pretty empty right now. Okay. This is the hydraulic fluid right here, okay? So what we're going to do is loosen that. See, it's already getting fun, right? Nice and easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezies. We're going to keep it on there but loose. In case there's any spillage, we're just going to keep that rag right over there, just like that. Okay, that's rule number one, okay? Now we can close the hood. All right. There's still beach weather out there. How many of you are still at the beach? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up so that we can actually see the car here. What I'm going to do is lift the car first, and then I'm going to get the set so that I can take off the lug nuts. And then after that, we're going to do a close inspection of the rotor, see what's going on there, and hopefully be able to take off the caliper, the rotor itself, replace all this stuff and the brake pads, and then get this thing back on the road, okay? Because this is the culprit right here. The other side still has some life in it. I already checked it. All right. Let's see if you guys can see any of that. So how about this menu, huh? Didn't it look delicious over here? Take my glasses off. Now again, I apologize if I can't communicate with you. Let me see if I can actually... I'm getting a call. Let me just answer that real quick. All right, I'm back. Okay, so we're gonna try this out, okay? It's actually fun doing this, but in front of a crowd, it's a little bit different. It's kind of goofy. So you can see right here, see if I can turn this on. All right, you see that, guys? Right there's a lip. That's where the jack pad's gonna go, right there on that lip. See how beautiful it fits in there? Let's do that first. It's a little shaky at first, but forgive me for that. Here we are. Beautiful. All right. So the car's in park. You got to make sure of that, but the emergency brake's not on, obviously, so that we can get to the brakes. Now we're starting to get rolling, right? It doesn't need to be too high. All right, that's good. All right. Okay, so you see we got the wheel off the ground. You see my finger right there? I think that's good, actually. We don't need much more than that, so we're good there. Now I'm going to put the jack stand in place. We're going to keep the jack there, but I'm going to put the jack stand in place. Because you can't put the jack pad on anything else. So we're going to put it in place as a security measure, and then I'm going to show you another trick when we take off the wheel. Wedge it a little bit better. Let's see if I can get it. This is the lowest tube. That's going to be fine. That's going to be okay. Just as a security measure, so that's going to be fine. All right, now we're going to try to take off these lug nut caps. To do that, I have a little baggie here that does this. See if I can find it. So I'm not really getting under the car, okay? So it's not that dangerous because I'm not really getting under the car, but we're still be careful, right? So that our fingers are fine. I didn't loosen the nuts. You know why? Because I have a breaker bar. You can still do that right now. I can do that right now. First loosen them a little bit. Actually, that's a good idea. It'll make it a little bit easier for me. You see? We can easily do that, no problem. That way it'll be a little easier. Either way it'll work. Okay. We'll loosen them with the breaker bar first. Whoever said that? Good. All right, here's the tool. Take off these caps. Makes it so much easier than ruining your car with that. There they are. See that? When you have the right tool, it's so great. So this is an older car. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I like to have all the pieces of the puzzle. See, I have anti-seize on these, so it would have been easy to lose them. They come loose very easily. It might be backwards for you, but this is 17 millimeter right here. 17 millimeter breaker bar and socket. So what are we going to do now? We're going to put the up, and then we're going to be able to take it off pretty easily. My hand's already getting sweaty. It is hot, and it is humid here, guys. There it is again. Hands are sweaty, everything's sweaty. That chat help me. You helped me this time, huh? How about that? Really cool, guys. All right. So safety protocol in place. I got a torque wrench right here. Boom. Torque wrench. I got that. Don't you worry. Should have chucks. Well, what are you going to use the chucks for? The front wheels? There's a pawl over here. The car's not going to go more than a couple of inches, but there's no issues whatsoever. Usually what I do is when I put it up on the ramps, I use those chucks. But I have chucks. It's okay. I feel pretty comfortable with this. Again, I'm not getting underneath the car this time. When I'm getting underneath the car, I put those chucks in the back when I put it up on ramps. All right, let's see if we can take off this thing now. Realize I'm talking too, so things are going a little bit slower. But let's see. Sitting on a bucket, which I'm going to destroy. Yeah, I don't think you can support me. It's getting too fat. We'll do without the bucket. And I'm open for the criticism. That's part of the fear that people have of doing these things live. But I could care less. Couldn't care less. That's why you put anti-seize on these things folks, so that they come off easily when you need them to. Imagine if you were stuck side of the road. See how easy that was? There it is. And we don't do things like grease monkeys here, right? We don't take an air gun to this and destroy the wheel itself like they do. We torque it down to the proper measurements. There it is. Like body. I'm expecting some snags later on. Okay, and that's with the caliper. But we'll see how far we get, okay guys? Alright, taking off the wheel is in terms of celebration as well, so I'm going to play a song for that as soon as we get the wheel off. And are we ready? It's heavy, so get some leverage. 1, 2, 3. Alright, here we go. Success. We got the wheel off. Now I told you that there is a little trick for the wheel. You put it underneath the car. It's an added measure of security. Right below the car right there, so if anything should happen, at least it'll fall on this rubber piece right here. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So now we have 1, 2, 3 layers of security for the car. You guys dig? Good. All right, let's get in closer now. Take a look at this rotor and what it looks like. So you can see right here. Let me see if I can actually go to the other side. Do it the other way. Let's take a look at the damage. You can see there's metal on metal here. There is no brake pad there. There's no brake pad. This is just the end of the brake pad. It's the metal piece. And then the rotor is scored all the way. That's been happening for the last week. And then at the very lip right here is what it should look like. Very lip. So we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to take off the caliper. You can see these things get rusty very easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blast that with a little bit of lube here. Just penetrating fluid first. And what we're not going to do today is we're not going to flush the brake fluid, okay? We're just going to push back the pistons. I'm crossing my fingers that when we push back the pistons, what happens is we don't have to rebuild the piston. So I've had to do that in the past because these cars are old. Sometimes you have leakage, so you don't have to rebuild the piston. Hopefully, I'm hoping. And we don't have any leaky calipers or anything like that. These as well, I've had to replace one before. These are the tubes where the brake fluid goes in. There's a piston in here and it pushes back. Let's take a look. We can't see it right now. But what we're gonna try to do is blast that with a little bit of penetrating fluid first. And then we're gonna try to take off the caliper, and you can't just let it hang by this. This is not good. So you have to hang it by maybe the coil here so that there's no stress on the tube and you don't tear that. Pray for TK safety. Doesn't that go without saying, Frank? Huh? You guys could probably dox where I live anyway, so I'm on the 7th floor of the garage here at the 101 building here in Clematis, so you can find me pretty easily, right? So you can call 911 for me if you into any problems. But I'm not getting underneath the car, just in general areas. Here's what I have handy. Liquid wrench. Should work in a pinch. I'll show you real quick right where I squirted this stuff. These are the caliper pin bolts, right there. Those are going to be replaced. They come with the package. See them right here? Right there. And one right there. That's going to allow us to loosen up this entire assembly here. These are the guide pins. We're going to check out the grease on those. Make sure those are working beautifully, okay? Alright. Why don't we play a song since we were able to get the wheel off at least, right? So already the tutorial's going very well.
Adventures sent $2 bad to the bone.
Leave this one alone. She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad. Bad. Bad to the bone. I broke 1,000 hearts before I met you. I break 1,000 more, baby. I wanna be yours, pretty baby. Yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad. Bad. Bad to the bone. Woman beg, and I make a good woman steal. I make an old woman blush, and I make a young girl squeal. I wanna be yours, pretty baby, yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone. Bad. Bad. Bad to the bone.
All right, everybody. So I just squirted some brake fluid. I'm gonna let it air out for a couple of seconds. So I'll take a little walk around. I'll be right back. just so that I don't get that initial waft of brake cleaner, okay? So what we have here, and I think I should switch it to the other view so that you guys can see. We're going to be using the wire brushes in this area too, and then we're going to lube it up too, but that rotor is going to go. This is the fun part where we get to remove the caliper, hopefully with no issues whatsoever. So the process here is going to be a little bit slower. They can usually do these things in 20 minutes in the shop, but we're going to probably take 2 to 3 hours. Now, if at any point I see that it's just getting redundant, a little boring even for me, then we'll just stop the stream and I'll continue it and I'll have it as a recorded video. But we're getting very, very far. This is great. Then again, sorry about not having my attention. So we got a 13 millimeter and we have a 15 millimeter. I think that's what you need. These are very convenient right here. These types of ratcheting wrenches, they're very thin. Can you see how thin this one is? It's not like the normal size. And the reason for that is because there's another bolt here, which is a different size that goes against me. So if I actually start to loosen this, the other one will start to move with it. I won't ever be able to loosen it. So they go against each other. You can probably see what I mean when I get there. And it varies from vehicle to vehicle, but pretty much it's going to be very, very similar. Lefty's loosey. We can use a little bit of force, but I don't want to ruin my knuckles. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of the mallet here. Little mallet action. All right, we started to get it. See how easy that moves? Now these bolts have Loctite on them, which means they have this little blue strip. I'll show you the strip. Take a look at that. Let's see that in there. You might be able to see the blue strips inside of these, right here. Blue strip. That's the Loctite. That's so that they'll stay in place while you're driving. So the new bolts have that. All right, so now the other bolt is starting to move. So what I got to do is I got to jam this here so that it catches it, just like that. Just like that. We want to do this slowly without busting our knuckles. We're getting there, folks. It's like you're watching NASCAR, huh? You ready? You can't wait for me to hurt myself, cut myself. One of my fingers didn't give you that. Oh, fuck. But we're gonna try not to have any of those. All right. We loosen this bad boy up right now. All right. Good stuff. So we're already ahead of the game. I'll get the battery real soon too. Alright, we got that done. Good news. Good news, folks. There it is. Success. See the Loctite? Right there. That's so that it doesn't loosen on you on the road. Keep that there. Actually, the other bag is still sealed, so we can put it over here. All right, got one more bolt to go. And we'll take a look at these pins when we take off the caliper. Clean it all up. And there should be this here, without taking off the bracket, we should be able to remove this bad boy too, which is good news. All right. This one's a little bit tougher to get to.
Anonymous sent $3. Hey TK, change the blinker fluid.
Here we go. Piece of shit car. I got a piece of shit car. The fucking pile of shit never gets me very far. My car's a big piece of shit, cause these shocks are fucking shot. And my seatbelt's fucking broken, I got to tie it in a knot. It's a piece of shit. I can't see through the windshield, cause he's got a big fucking crack. And the interior smells real bad, cause my friend puked in the back. It's a piece of shit. Piece of shit car. Piece of shit car. Piece of shit car. It's got royalty. The fucking pile of shit. Oh, you oh, fuck you, car. It's got no CD player. It only got the 8-track. Whoever designed my car can lick my sweaty nuts. Shaking by his ass. And I got no fucking brakes. I'm always way out of control. 11 times a day I hear, hey, watch it, asshole. You fucking piece of shit. Piece of shit. And I'm a piece of shit. Diesel gas sucks my ass. That pile Oh, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do? What the fuck did I do? To get stuck with you, you're too hard to drive through, and you smell like tissue, but I broke through my shopping room. Oh, fuck me. Flood. The car always fucking stalls. In the seat cushions not a big grip, so a spring always pokes the balls. Plus the door locks are busted. Fucking coat hanger. And if a girl sees my car, there's no chance I'll ever bang her.
Thank you so much. It's actually a very, very enlightening song. Very happy song. Very happy as a piece of shit. It does have a CD player, still, which is cool. So Audis are the most difficult cars to work on, in my opinion. I've worked on a lot. And in the engine, they try to stuff as many turbos and things in very little room. So working on brakes is a pleasure because you have all this room to work with. Okay, I think we got that loose. You guys following along so far? I know there are not many of you. I know it's Saturday morning, afternoon, but these are the times we have. Here it is. Booyah. All right, now let's see if we can get this thing off very easily. Sometimes these things have set screws, sometimes they don't, depends who tinkered with it. All right. See these guide pins here? They're supposed to be nice and loose. We're gonna grease those bad boys up too. Few taps is usually what these things need. Let me see if I can push it off with the screwdriver we have. Now it doesn't matter what I do to the rotor now, it's already cooked toast. It's already destroyed. So. See the movement? Alright, we're gonna get that caliper off. And there it is, folks. We got the caliper off. There it is. Boom. And here are the crappy brake pads that were doing all the mess. See that? Down to the bone. That's what they're worn down to. Terrible. Now, in order to keep this operation flowing nicely, we're going to use the bungee cords now. I'm just going to hang this really briefly. We don't want it supported by this tube here at all. We don't want to stretch that. So you can use these bungee cords. Now some of these are homemade ideas, guys. Sometimes you got to think outside the box to get this stuff going. Sometimes everybody's recommending it. The safety stuff, no negotiation. Let's see. That'll be fine. I'll just hang it on, actually. Just put it on here, it'll be fine. To be honest, yeah, it's fine right there. No issues. Just don't want it to hang by itself. It's fine. Didn't even need them. All right. Next up, let's see what Lindsay's saying. But will Goober be able to loosen the rotor nut without an extension bar, hex nut? There's a set nut right here. There's a set nut. The rotor will be able to be removed because this bracket here on this particular vehicle, this bracket, you can actually get the rotor right off, which is what I'm going to do. Look at this. Magic. See that? Booyah! Booyah. So maybe you can delete that comment because you look like a fool. Look at the other side. The other side was still getting there. It was still looking okay. This side was destroyed though. So we're going to put the new rotor on here after we clean it up just a little bit. Then push back the brake piston. You can see it's all rusty. It's an old car. All rusty and stuff. So we're going to use a little bit of wire brush magic on this. A little bit of brake cleaner. Wire brush magic. Did I get any of that on you guys? Sorry about that. Goober. It's a good one. We're not aiming for perfection here. Just want to get the loose stuff out, guys. You can always paint your rotors, not your rotors, your calipers. You can paint the splash shield. You can make it look all nice and pretty, but for this car, it's not really worth it. This is going to be a utility car. This is the car that I use to drive down to Miami. So we're getting pretty far. I'll only be at peace if we're able to push back that piston with no issues. So we're going to get to that too. There it is. Right. Looking good. Getting high off a brake cleaner. Yeah. Woo, free of charge. All right. Always never looking for perfect. Always looking for almost perfect. Step away for a second. Time to play a song.
Anonymous sent 3.
Adventures sent $2 American woman.
American woman, stay away from me. American woman, mama let me be. Don't come hanging round my door. I don't wanna see your face no more. I got more important things to do. Spend my time going on with you. Now woman, stay away. American woman, listen what I say. American woman, get away from me. American woman, mama let me be. Don't come knocking round my door. I don't wanna see your shadow no more. Good nights get hypnotized. Sparkle someone else's eyes. Now woman, get away. American woman, listen what I say. American woman, I said get away. American woman, listen what I say. Don't come hanging round my door. Don't wanna see your face no more. I don't need your war machines. I don't need your ghetto scenes. Gonna life get hypnotized. I know someone else's eyes. Now woman, get away. American woman, listen what I say. American woman, stay away from me. American woman, mama let me be. I gotta go.
All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just barely filing down these points right here, just so that the brake pads fit perfectly. Look at how trash these things were, huh? Ridiculous. Out of control. All right. Need the wire brush. Let's see if I can find that somewhere. All right, we're making a lot of progress, guys. A lot of good progress here. All right, let's take a look at these guide pins. Make sure there's some good lube on there. These are the pins for the calipers, okay? They need to move very freely, which they already are, which is good. They're moving pretty freely back here. They stick right into place. Look at that, beautiful. So I'm gonna put a little bit more on there for both of them. All right, beautiful. That one's the top, this one's the bottom. Loop them up. You always got to bring your A lube game. There it is. It's called plastic tube. Very German. Just to be on the safe side, we're gonna lube this up. There it is. Nice and sloppy. It's okay. We can be sloppy with this stuff. All right. All good. So right back to where it belongs. There it is. It's going to move very nice and freely. So the biggest challenge here is making it so that you can see it as well. Hopefully you guys can see it. Just give me a little bit of feedback. And put some comments in there too, so that I know that you're seeing what I'm doing here. See that? Bouncing back, that's what you want. You want it to bounce back beautifully. All right. Perfect. Perfect so far, so good. Okay, now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to push back that piston. And that's going to require that tool, all right? So I'm going to get that tool out. Why don't I do that? The way that this tool works is there's an attachment here. Goes on the piston, and as you twist it, put pressure on the piston. It just doesn't go in. You have to twist and you have to put pressure on it at the same time. You have to get the right attachment. That's why I got this tool. Let me see if I can do it pretty easily. Usually this is where we hit a snag, folks. Okay? Yeah, wheel bearing's good. You would know the wheel bearing was bad if you heard noises when you let your foot off the gas and you start hearing noises. That's usually wheel bearing. It's a good question though. Thank you, nice tool, she says. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's move back to this. I know my chain is hanging. You see that? It has these two notches right there. Gonna put the tool right in there. It looks like this one fits. That's what she said. That's okay. We're in the garage. We can do sexual innuendos here. All right, so. All right. What I have to do is I have to make sure that this has leverage. So let me see if the other piece of this came with it. Here's the other piece that you need. gotta be kidding me. There's a pin that's supposed to go in here and the pin is not in there. Didn't come with the kit. That's gonna make it a little tough. It's supposed to go right in here. There's a pin that's supposed to go right in there. So they gypped me, folks. Okay. Let me see if I can find that little pin. We're gonna need that. Okay, so our first snag we've just hit, and that is, I'm not able to turn this. All right. I'm not able to turn this without putting the pin in there, because it'll just spin freely. We need it to be locked in place. Doesn't look like that's happening. Looks like this kit didn't come complete, so we're missing a pin. Able to turn it without it? No. Yeah, we need that pin in there. Strange they didn't include it with the kit. Very strange. Okay guys, that was easy. So that means that I have to go and return this kit and get another one with the pin inside and then continue the job. That's the only way that I can do this, because otherwise we can't move that piston in there. Yeah. We need something to be able to twist that piston in there. And that's not happening. That's not happening unless we turn this, push it back. How unfortunate. Bad news. Okay. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. Because I can't continue and I can't get this piston back, which I knew this would be a snag. If normally it would have been easy because we don't have any leaks here, everything looks good, but I can't push the piston back. Once I do, I'll be able to put in the brake pads and then I'll be able to put in the rotor. No issues whatsoever. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to shut off the stream right now. I'm going to complete this job. Then I'm going to take a few photos and I'm going to share them with you on the next stream. I think that's the best way to go about it instead of wasting your time, because I need to return this kit. They didn't give me the pin. I didn't anticipate that this pin was gone. If I do find it within the next few minutes, then I'll restart the stream. But otherwise, I have to get a new kit today. So thanks for joining me so far. So far, so good. It was great, but it was a bad tool. A C-clamp can't work because you need it to twist at the same time you're putting pressure on it. So a C-clamp works for a lot of other pistons, but not for this one. You need to twist as you put pressure in. So a C-clamp doesn't work, unfortunately, but we'll give it a try another time. A big screw, yeah, the screw has to be the perfect size. I'd rather just use the correct pin. So that's what we're gonna do. Thank you so much for joining me. It was an experience so far. We haven't really had any snags, so I have to actually leave everything as it is, go down to the store, replace it, and then come right back and finish a job, because you just can't leave a car like this. And that's the problem when you're doing weekend mechanic stuff, DIY. But thank you so much. Love you all, and I'll be seeing you soon. Let's play out a song while we're doing this anyway. I always like to do that anyway. Man, that sucks, but that's not our fault. Nothing's broken. That's pretty cool. All right, we'll play one more song out.
This adventure sent $2 American woman.
Like a